Alright, hey there fishing brothers and sisters. I'm here at the Big Bass Factory of Lake Guntersville, Alabama, Browns Creek. I'm hoping to catch me some good fish. We went from ice out to some warm, wet weather, and hopefully that's got them fired up. Let's go load the boat. Still gotta get him in. What do we got here? It's a drum. All right, after fishing for a couple of hours and only having a drum to show for it, I sat down and I thought about why that was happening. I was fishing typical seasonal lures, and I was fishing typical seasonal areas, and I just was not getting bit. And I went back and I thought about what I mentioned in the introduction. We recently had just ice out conditions, just single digit temperatures, unheard of cold snap, where I was busting ice to get out of the harbor. And now we had 60-degree sunny conditions, and we had days of heavy rainfall where we had the same 60-degree weather. And I paid attention to the temperature gauge on my sonar, and the main lake temperature had jumped up 6 degrees. So I thought about it, and I figured the backwater would probably be even warmer. So I went back into the creek, and I found a nice pocket that had good water flow coming into it, good fresh water, and the water back there was significantly warmer. We went from 46-degree water on the main river to 52 to 54-degree water in the backwater. And immediately once I got back there, I was stirring up bait fish. I was seeing all kinds of activity, and I knew magic was about to happen. Where I saw the bait fish activity around little grass lines, I was throwing a weightless Texas rig and different things like that. And I was catching a small fish or two here and there, but I wasn't getting the numbers that I thought I should, until I found a little ditch that was not shown on my mapping. So after I found and I call it a ditch, but it was just a little depression. I was sitting in just a foot or two of water, just as shallow as I could go, and this little depression went to 4 to 6 foot at the very deepest, and it was very small, only about the size of my boat. And first cast in there, caught a fish. Second cast, I had one break me off around a stump. So I knew I was onto something there. I broke out Alabama rig, and I lightened it up for these shallow water conditions. And first cast, caught a fish. Second cast, caught a fish, and it was lights out from there. It's something that I should have discovered a lot earlier, an adjustment I should have made a lot quicker. Anytime you're fishing in the winter and you have a big influx of warm water, you're gonna have this same pattern set up on your fishery. The warm water is key. Just because you have a heavy rain, it doesn't mean the fish are going to push back up like that. If it's a cold rain, they're going to come out even further or shut down. They're going to be very, very difficult to catch. But if you're out there and you're wondering why you're not catching fish doing what you're supposed to do, you have to think and consider whether the weather conditions are more important than the seasonal pattern. I call it fishing math. You got to eliminate as many variables as quickly as possible. The best fisherman can do it the quickest and eliminate the variables the fastest. It's key with this pattern that you fish as soon after the rainfall as possible, especially when it's really cold. The further out that you get from the rain event and the warm weather event, the farther these fish are going to back off. They're gonna kind of fall back a bit to the next nearest little deep spot, the next closest break. Where you were catching them in the back of the ditch, where I was as far back as you could go. As you get further out from this rain event, you're gonna find the fish relating closer to the mouth of the ditches. Alright, the footage of my fish catches did not turn out just like I really wanted it to. A lot of it was bad angles, and then my battery died on my GoPro, and I did not bring the cord to my juice box. So a little bit of a mishap there, but I think the how and the why will help you out a lot more than seeing me reel in fish after fish, although I had a great time doing it. Now, most of my fish, granted, were small. I caught over 50 fish, but I don't know if I even had a limit. But anytime you're fishing in the winter time, it feels great to have a day like I had. The following day, I really wanted to go out and just pound the fish that I had found. But due to my current health, I wasn't able to launch the boat 2 days in a row. I was, however, able to look at Navionics, and I found an area that was pretty similar. That just because you're a bank angler, it doesn't mean you can't take advantage of the weather conditions like that. If you have the rising warm water conditions in the winter, just pull up Navionics, pretend you're a boater, and look at bridges that are in the backs of the creeks like that, or any kind of public access that you can get down and fish those kinds of areas. It's a little bit more tedious to do, but you'd be surprised how many places that you can fish and how you can maneuver yourself. Don't think because you're a bank angler that you're stuck fishing the same spot and being at the mercy of the season and the weather on whether or not you catch some fish. If you're a bank angler, you're getting to the bank somehow. You have a car, you have a bike, or you have your own two legs to position yourself and put you in the best position to have a good opportunity to catch fish. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna move, but typically, fish are, they're not, bass aren't salmon, but still, when you have this warm influx of rain, they're gonna follow that current. They're gonna head upstream to where that warm water is coming in, just like when you're fishing in the wintertime, targeting rocks and things that will warm up and hold that heat a little bit better. If you already have this warm water coming in, the fish are going to flock to it, and they're going to be a lot more aggressive and easier to catch than the fish on the rest of your lake. I hope I helped you learn something today, or bring something to the front of your mind, that sometimes the weather will override the typical seasonal patterns. So pay attention to that when you're on the water, and have fun, and go load the boat.